Hey guys, Jaybird challenge number 11 today, and I thought I would yap for a little while about where I live, my hometown here in Orlando, Florida, and born here, Orange Memorial Hospital downtown, many years ago. Lived here most of my life. Uh, of course, I've moved around the country a lot, but I was born here, lived here till I was like 2 years old, where we moved up to Indiana, and then back, all within 1 year. Then I lived in like 3 different places here in Orlando until I was like 7, when I moved up to Coleman, Alabama, and then came back within the same year. And then I was here until I was 9, and up and moved out to Lake Tahoe, Nevada, and stayed there for less than a year. My parents were real good at that. And then came back to Florida. And then I lived in Orlando during the mid-'80s for a couple of years in like two or three different places. Then left and eventually settled back here in Orlando in 94. End of 94, started 95, somewhere around there. And I've been settled here ever since. And I don't know what it is about people coming back to the place they were born. I understand that a lot of people around the world actually live, like 50% of people live in their hometowns, or at least very close to their hometowns. So I guess I'm not, it's not unusual for me to want to settle where I grew up and lived most of my life. Orlando is a great city. Anybody who's visited, the city itself is, it's not really large, but the outlying surrounding suburbs are really spread out. I mean, the whole area encompasses like over 1 million people. So there's a lot of folks here on the road. I notice that every day. And Orlando is kind of a touristy spot, thanks to Walt Disney World, which started, I think they opened in 73 or 72. Yeah, I think 72. And then I actually went out to Disney World with my family in 73. The place had been open for less than a year, and it was really kind of small. But it was a great experience going out to Disney World. And Disney really brought in tons of people from around the country. They were the first to pop up, and followed by, like Universal Studios and SeaWorld, which is like 5 minutes away from where I live right now. And the entire International Drive area near the convention centers is just filled with all kinds of touristy places to visit. And then there's Wet and Wild and all kinds of other smaller theme parks. But yeah, Orlando it's a great place to live, and it's a great place to visit. It's the only real drawback for me living in Orlando is the fact that it is so touristy. In the area where I live, things are expensive. Like going into a restaurant or something is a lot more expensive than it would be in other places, just because they tend to jack up the prices to try to hit the tourists up when they come into town. So I'm kind of picky about going out to different places. I gotta scope them out first to make sure it's not too damn expensive. But yeah, the area I live in is really heavily touristed, and about the only drawback is the fact that there's all kinds of tourists on the road, and they don't know where the hell they're going. And oh boy, I've had many near accidents because people just aren't paying attention and are lost and driving in circles and stuff. But one of those things you have to deal with here in Central Florida. So there you go, a little short ramble about my city. So give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down, leave a comment, maybe tell me about, where you grew up, or maybe your hometown, or maybe just the place that you live. That would be cool. Leaving a video response would be great. Thanks, people. Cheers.